reading the book Poor Economics about 10 years ago, I started following J-PAL's work through their website and their newsletters. In 2020, when J-PAL launched the MENA regional office in Cairo, I was absolutely thrilled. And even more so when they launched the J-PAL MENA Fellowship Program in the last quarter of 2022.
So since many of my studies were in trade, I've come to know J-PAL from its studies, especially on the export dimension. So one of the studies was conducted in Egypt for examining the effects on Egyptian small firms producing rugs, and they have estimated the effects of allowing such firms to export on their profits and productivity.
So actually I was a graduate student at the American University in Cairo, where J-PAL MENA office is located, and I got introduced about the J-PAL's activities at that time. I was truly excited that there will finally be a regional office whose existence is crucial for introducing scientific and rigorous approach to evaluating social programs in our region. I heard about the MENA Scholars Fellowship while I was attending a conference organized by UNICEF and Cairo University. And one of the speakers there was the founding executive director of J-PAL MENA. And she announced an anticipated fellowship whose main focus is building skills and expertise in the area of impact evaluation and conducting RCTs. So I was truly excited to apply for it. I think it is an informed process of creating policies that mainly includes exploring local contexts, collecting data of high quality, and assessing the cost effectiveness of interventions before upscaling them and spending a lot of money on them. And I also believe that it implies that decisions couldn't be taken, specifically policy decisions couldn't be taken, unless there is strong scientific evidence on which they can be based.
Evidence-based policy making means that we are ensuring that the most impactful and ideally cost-effective policies are being implemented, and this is very important in a world where resources are limited and where choices need to be made, and obviously with choices there could be high opportunity costs.
Digging more into real-life situation, it's not like the conventional research that I'm quite aware of, that I use usually in my work. It actually tackles areas that you cannot tackle when you are doing any sort of research that you normally do as an academic or as a researcher. I think it's time for me to tackle a different area, something that addresses poverty, which is all around us. I want to help policy makers to see how all the plans or all the projects that are actually taking place, how are they evaluated, and how can we help as a researcher.
So the fellowship will provide me with a unique opportunity to gain an in-depth understanding of the different impact evaluation methods, and especially RCTs.
This opportunity will help me a lot because it includes mentorship, it includes some capacity building sessions, and it will give me a hands-on experience on how to conduct RCTs in practice.
The fight against poverty and increasing women's empowerment are two of the main causes that I would like for my career to serve. What inspires me to continue in this work is seeing the advancements in the methodologies used in development economics, and specifically the use of RCTs in evaluating development policies and programs, and understanding which are the policies and programs that work and which are those that don't work.
I think this goes back to when I was an undergraduate student, when I was specifically 19 years old, because at that point I got introduced to J-PAL's work. I attended some online lectures on the challenges of global poverty delivered by Professor Esther Duflo. And since then, I have developed strong interest in learning more about the unique studies conducted by JPAL and the design and implementation of RCTs.
Well, it's quite important to have this network of relation with our colleagues in MENA, especially that we all almost have the same concerns. So when we communicate, actually we share together a lot of ideas. We communicate our findings, and this actually in the future would help to create a common plan for the whole Arab area and MENA area in specific.
The JPAL would allow us to create a social network of researchers that are based in the region, and this is important because for researchers in the MENA region, they would be the ones who are mostly aware about the needs of the region, about the most interesting research questions to discover, and about also the implementation channels that our region in particular are facing.